I get asked all the time how I do it with 7 kids. And frankly, I don't even know. Most of the time, I'm just winging it. But that led me to a post on Instagram where I actually highlighted the fact that I had 7 kids 8 and under at one time. I know, pretty crazy, right? But I wanted to ask you what you thought or wanted to know about how you survived those younger years. So let's talk. I'm going to tell you some tips and tricks on how to survive those years. But first off, I need to be honest with you. Those years were hard. It was a hot mess and it was crazy. I didn't do it perfectly. There was a lot of screaming and yelling and whining and complaining. And sometimes that involved the kids. But the reality is you just have to survive through those years. But looking back on it, I would pay all my money to go back and be there with those babies all over again. The time flies. So think of it this way. It may be hard now, but in a few years, you will be wishing that you could go back to those days. And that's where I'm at now. Okay, let me address the illusion that I have everything together, or that you have to have everything together. You don't, I don't. So there's freedom in that. Just know that my life is chaos now. It looked a little bit different back then. When I had 7 kids, 8 and under, my house was a pit. It looks different now because my kids are older, but there should be freedom in the fact that you don't have to have your life together. So the trick is to find little pockets of time when you can do small things. Maybe that's the dishes, maybe that's you taking a bath or cleaning up toys. Little things will help you ease into it. Don't look at the whole mess and think I've got to do it all, because you can't. I didn't and I don't. Give yourself grace. You know, because it's hard to give yourself grace when you're a mom and you feel like it all relies on you. Which brings me to my next question. I always get asked, is the transition from 1 to 2 kids harder than the transition to 2 to 3? Frankly, it all sucked because I was at home with all of them. But no, truthfully, 1 to 2 was harder. You can do it. Now on to that elusive me time. Here's the thing. I took time when my kids were napping. And if I wasn't napping because I love sleep so much, I would shower. I would read a book. Maybe I would write an email or 2, but I would do things that let me feel better about myself while they had time away. It's simple. It's not a lot of time. It's a little bit of time. But frankly, any me time happened because of this guy right here. Having a great partner to do life with, to parent with, is so detrimental and key. Because the deal is, anytime I wanted to get out, when he was home, he would take the kids for me. He would hang out with them so I could shower if I didn't get it in earlier that day, or if I wanted to run. But let's just be honest, running was not a big thing for me, not until recently. In fact, we'll have a whole nother story talking about the time that I lost 80 pounds. But that's a whole nother video entirely. Okay, so many days I just stayed in my pajamas all day because the thought of laundry killed me. Because it was survival of the fittest out there and I just needed to wear my clothes, and that's okay. But you've got to have community and you just need to get out of the house. The same guy who watched us walk in is sitting there watching me film.
She gets to pick it out.
I know it's hard to get out of the house when you have 1,005 kids. Believe me, I've been there, getting all the bags, all the clothes, the sippy cups, everything like that, buckling them in. In fact, one time I was pregnant and I had 2 kids. I loaded them all of their stuff into the van, left for the day, and came back home only to find out that I had left the front door open. It stinks. But you need community, you need people, and you've got to get out of the house. People ask me, how do you find joy in this season of the chaos and of all the small kids? First of all, it helps to have faith, to have community, to go to church, to see Jesus and have other people. Second of all, it's hard. It's a tough season. You find joy in their faces, okay? You can stick it out. The days are long, people say, but the years are short, and that is so true, because one day you will wish you could go back to that. Whew, that was a long day. I know that there were a lot of other questions asked, like budget planning and meal prepping and how to potty train and all those kind of things. Those are great, but that's not what I want to end on. I want you to leave this video thinking about doing 3 small things a day and make those huge, giant victories for you. Enjoy your kids. The days are going to be up and down and hard and easy, and you've got to find a win wherever you can find a win, because the truth is, these are the best days of your lives and you don't even know it.